Welcome back guys, we're back again with another tutorial, and this time we're going to be going over the parental side to servers, just to explain what they are, the benefits of using this with your children, and also how to avoid anything bad like cursing, people coming onto your server that you don't want to, potentially just holding it so only people that you want can go onto the server, and we'll go through all of these things in the video. So let's start off first with what is a server. So on Minecraft you have your single player worlds where you can go and play, of course. You also have realms, which is a sort of smaller version of a server. It can hold up to 10 people and everybody can sort of join on by sending a code. However, you don't have as much control as you do with the server. So unfortunately anybody can just get the code if you do share it and then come onto your server. So the difference is with the server is that it's like you are hosting the actual game yourself. So you've got your world and you are hosting it. So you can only let the people in or share your address to it. You can actually hold many more than 10 people if you want to, so this is great for family and friends. Perhaps you might have family in other countries, and it's a great way to connect, be able to chat to each other and play along every day. One of the key differences between realms and servers is that with servers you can pretty much change every setting on there, from the configuration to how many people you can let on, to whether you actually let people on. Maybe you have them whitelisted, so if they're not on a specific list that you've already written their name on, they can't come onto the server. You can change all the difficulties and stuff like that, like you would in a normal Minecraft game, if you want it easier for a younger child or turn it harder for a slightly older teenager. And you don't have to do this for your own PC. You can do this by renting or hosting. Let's say for SeekaHost we do hosting services, and for like a few bucks a month you can get yourself a server, just hold a few people on, or up to 10 or 20 people, and you can all play along. It really doesn't cost that much, and you've got the safety and security of being an online server rather than using your computer, having to share your IP and stuff like that, which could be potentially dangerous. So I do myself recommend hosted servers. They do come with DDoS protection if anybody tries to attack your network, and a variety of other security features that will stop people gaining access to your server. So let's go over some of the pros here, and as I mentioned earlier, you can play with anybody around the world. That means if you have an aunt in Mexico with children, or you have uncle in Greece, you can all play together. It doesn't matter where they are or who they are, you can all connect with Minecraft and you can all get on and play. This also means by using the server, if you are on a Java account, means that everybody can play together as well without having to set up a home server. You can simply create a server and everybody can join on by sharing its IP, and again all play together. One of the great things around Minecraft is that it is also still quite heavily inspired with education in mind. Anything from the redstone, which is very much like electric connections and learning how that works, how you can connect things in different ways, how you can power things or unpower things, and make different contraptions. It's actually really brilliant for a creative mind, and it does bring it out of people because it starts off with the game with just blocks. However, you realize that it's actually much more going forward. There's so many small elements that at first you don't need to know. It can start off simple by just playing a simple survival game or just creating a house, and then you start to realize how complex things can get and how you can actually learn from this, progress and go forward. I find it a great way for problem solving with children as well. I know personally my child, he might get frustrated at first, and then he'll sit there and he'll actually solve the problem at the end, feeling very accomplished at the end once they do solve it. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you do have much more control than Realms. With Realms you have the sort of minimal control of changing game modes and stuff like that. However, you do still have to share one code. If this gets shared to other people, anybody else can join onto your game. Now what we will do a little bit later in the video is we'll also go and show you exactly how to do this on your server if you do get one, and how you can stop all of this and make it all ultra safe. So don't worry about that, we got that all covered. Especially at SeekaHost, safety is a key issue, and we like to make sure everybody enjoys their time safely. Now for any of you that are watching this that are not familiar with Minecraft at all, there are a few versions, and primarily this is Java version, which is one, and then the Bedrock edition. Of course you do have Education edition. We won't go into that, we do have a separate video. If you do want to check it out, just follow our channel. You'll see in our videos that we've got Education edition video, and you can see all about that. So back to the versions here, and you got Bedrock version, like I said. Now this primarily is for Xboxes, it's for PlayStations, for a Windows 10 edition. If you're getting it on the PC, you can have it on Switch as well, and for this you're going to need one type of server, which is a Bedrock server. Once you're hosting this, anybody in that category can then join onto that server. Now the other one is Java, so you got the Java edition on Minecraft. Now this is just on PC, You do have Realms as well. I don't think they're quite so popular, but yes, primarily it's on PC. However, this gives you many more features. So with Java, you can actually change your servers a lot more than Bedrock. You can install things called plugins, and these will give you extra features. So for instance, we'll be using a plugin to stop any swearing or anything like that, and that will be only on Java version. Bedrock version doesn't have that. However, I just want to say that Minecraft does do a really great job of filtering out anything, especially in particularly Bedrock version has got an excellent built-in system to find out not only about swearing but also about bullying. People can actually get their accounts completely removed if they break any of the Mojang rules, and they are very tight on the words you use. Whether it be a swear word or a light swear word, it will be blocked out. Now with Java, it's a little bit different because you have so many different versions, anywhere from 1.1 I believe to start at, or 1.8, all the way up to the current version, which is 1.17. So although they do have some chat filters, you can add plugins into this to make this even more comprehensive, and then you can get other words as well, other phrases that you might not want your child to hear. So now that we've covered everything to do with the server, and you know how it works, you have to host a server, you can play with everybody online and stuff like that, let's actually move on to how you can keep yourself safe once you do have one. So if you haven't got yourself a server yet, just head on over to SeekaHost. We have got some really reasonably priced packages, DDoS protection, so you can't actually have your server attacked by an outside source. We've got live chat support, one-click mod pack installations, and lots of other features. So whilst I'm on here, I may as well explain the process of actually getting a server as well. So rather than starting your single player world on your Minecraft, what you're going to do is you're just going to find yourself a package. So let's come down to Minecraft hosting. So let's say you want a small package here for only 12 members, just for your family and stuff like that. You just go ahead with get started. You can then choose your payment method, whether you want to pay it monthly, quarterly or annually, and then you can go ahead and make the subscription. If you do of course want to cancel at any point, you can here with SeekaHost. You just go over to your client area once you have made an account, and you can either upgrade it or cancel it or whatever you need to do. So it works very much in the same way that Realms do on Minecraft. Once you have got your server, you will be brought up to your main dashboard here, and this is pretty much going to control all of your server. As you can see here, you can start your server, you can stop your server if you don't want people to come on it, you can restart it also. You're going to get a live feed of the status here of how many players are online, and you're going to get your IP and port joining details. You can also create yourself a custom domain, so rather than giving out the IP and the port, you can make yourself a domain right here. So mine's jdog.seekahostservice.com, and you can share that with friends, and they can join on. You can check out all of your files, all your configuration files for your server by simply clicking over here. You can come to your server settings and you can change anything like you would in Minecraft normally, whether you want to generate structures, whether you want to have a hardcore mode enabled, whether you want like the nether and the end enabled, whether you want flying enabled, and you get a lot of choices, even spawn protection, stuff like that for when you first start off, tick times. So if that's something you are interested in to make a custom sort of server for your family, this would be a great way of doing it. You can change so many options. Whether you have a Bedrock server or a Java server is super easy. You can simply select Bedrock right there if you want a Bedrock server. You can go for a default Minecraft server right here, and as you can see here, we have many variations. So this is Craft Bucket. You can have mod packs installed here. You can have servers that support for single mods, and lots of other choices. Now if you don't know what this means, all these are versions. So the 1.17 being the newest version of Minecraft. However, with the Java edition, you're able to go all the way to the first ever version of Minecraft available. And as you can see here, Spigot 1.17 is also the latest, and it goes down in numbers. It'll do the same with all of them with the versions. Now let's go over some ways that you can keep your server safe for your children as well. Stuff like anti-curse and well, no swearing if you're from Britain. So let's go over how to keep your server safe. So some simple things, like I mentioned earlier, are plugins. As you can see here, plugins are free. You get to download them for free. You can use the Spigot sites or the Bucket sites depending on what version, like we just looked at now. If you're using the Bucket version, you can get the plugins from there. Alternatively, we do have a very easy way of doing that on the actual server itself, or the Multicraft panel, sorry. And you can just come over to Files, come down to Plugin List, select the version that you're using, so it might be Bucket or Spigot. Let's just go for Spigot right here. I've just typed in swear, and you can find a plugin right here called No Swear. As you can see, we have many different plugins right here that you can just download, and you don't actually have to download these ones to your PC. This will just get downloaded to your server. If you do need to delete it, you can easily delete it. Just to show you how easily you can install plugins to do these extra features, let's go for Mini Anti-Swear here. So we're going to click on the plugin. We're going to make sure that it's available for our version. So if we're in 1.16 or above, this is going to be fine as long as course we're not the 1.17 version, so let's just go ahead and click install, and as easy as that, we've installed this onto our server. Now let's say that we don't want it anymore. You can either disable it and leave it there just in case you want to enable it again, or you can disable and then remove afterwards, just to completely remove it from your server. And that's how easy it is to add these plugins. Another thing to be aware of as a parent, I find, and this is extremely helpful, is checking a few things on your main panel right here. Now by heading over to the players option right over here, you're going to see a whole list of everybody that has ever joined. By clicking on their name, you can change anything to whether they're banned. You can check their IP address, and then you can then ban them through their IP address, so they can't just change their name and then come back over the server. You can also easily do it using the banned option over here, whether it be false or true. I won't be showing the bottom half of the screen, so obviously it will be showing their IP address, and I don't want to be sharing that. But that's how you can really easily check what players have come onto your server, and you can ban them if needed. Second thing also is to be able to check the chat and what's actually been happening on the server, and you can easily do this by going onto the chat option here. It'll give you all the information that's been going on in terms of logging on and off, and also chats if anybody has been chatting on there. And another way to check this is to go over to console, and you can see everything that's actually happened on the console completely. So if somebody has come on, you'll be able to see they've come on. You can just scroll up. Not only that, you can also check if they've tried to do any commands, if they've tried to do any cheats or anything like that. It will all come up on the console. You can also do a few other things through the console as well. If you want to ban someone through the console, you can just do a /ban. You can do their player name, or you can do a ban IP and then follow it with their IP address, and they'll get them banned on the server, just in case you have got a random person come on there that you don't want on. Another option is coming over to files and then going to configuration files and going to server settings. What this is going to do is we're going to enable the whitelisting. Now the whitelist comes as disabled, however you can click enabled on here and then save your settings, and this basically means that you now need to be on the particular list to get added onto the server. To add people onto your list, just come over to your console and type in whitelist add, then the player name. If you want to remove them, it's whitelist remove and then the player name. To connect to your servers, simply open up the normal Minecraft launcher. We're going to be using Java for this example. You can also use Bedrock as well. Just be aware that for servers, Bedrock is mostly capable on PC or mobile, so they can always join on to servers. There are third-party apps and stuff like that that will also allow your Xbox, your PlayStation and your Switch to connect as also. Primarily you're going to find that it's on PC and mobile. Now rather than going to the single player, we're going to head to the multiplayer option right here, and then on Java you're going to simply come to add server. Here you can choose your server name. This doesn't really matter, you can name it whatever you want, and then you can type in your server address. Your server address will be found on your dashboard here. You've got your IP and it will be followed by the port number, unless you're using a custom domain, of which will be this line right here, so jdog.seekahostservices.com. If you haven't used that, the way that you're going to be typing the IP and the port in is we're going to copy this over, followed by this, and then we're going to be adding the port number, right like so, and that's how you type in your IP and port number. Of course for Java, this is the whole address. In Bedrock, it'll ask you to do it separately. Once you're done, simply hit done, and it will then add the server. If you want to get rid of a server, simply click that, go to delete. It'll ask you whether you're sure, and you can then delete the server. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that's explained a little bit better what the Minecraft servers are, what you can actually do to keep your children safe whilst using them, and also how you as a parent can also do your checks and have a little bit of knowledge now, because now you know what really you should be looking out for or adding to your server to make sure that there is extra checks and that you're not getting anybody on there that you don't want on there. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again next time on the next tutorial. Bye bye.